We all experience disappointment in our lives when things don't happen the way that we think they should or want them to. When our picture, our expectation isn't upheld or met, we feel disappointed. And when we experience disappointment, we often succumb to doubt and sadness because we're holding so tightly to that picture of what we think should be or what we want to happen so badly for us. And in that place of pain that we feel in that moment, we often misunderstand God's heart towards us. And we learn to mistrust his heart and mistrust his love. We want to know that we matter to him, that we matter, that we're chosen, that we are loved and seen, and that he cares. But when something doesn't happen for us and we feel the disappointment and the pain of that, we end up feeling alienated and alone. We believe that he doesn't care. And we believe then as a result that we're not going to have what we need because we feel cut off from his love. And we begin to, as we feel cut off from love and we're not going to have what we need, we begin to live as survivors. And we have that orphan mentality. And we believe in that place that we can't trust other people, that we're not loved, and that our needs will not get met. And that we, as a result, our inability to trust other people, we avoid a vulnerability with people. We avoid sharing ourselves openly and honestly. We hide. We engage in self-protective, safe patterns of behavior that are like isolation and self-sufficiency and even addiction and deception, even deceiving ourselves about our own reality oftentimes. So I ask you, are you responding to the disappointment in your life, and the pain, the loss of your picture with pain and disappointment and hurt and bitterness towards God? Are you buying into the lie that he's just not for you and you can't trust his heart? Are you responding with survival patterns of your own, of thinking and behavior like isolation, mistrust, addiction, self-sufficiency, hiding, deception? And if you're stuck in that vicious cycle of survival mentality and behavior, it is time to set yourself free from that prison. And here are 5 steps to help you break out of that survival. First of all, you have to feel the disappointment and you recognize your ineffective patterns of behavior and you understand what the disappointment is, what didn't happen or what did happen, and how does that feel? And then what are you believing as a result of that? What patterns then are you acting out in that you have made yourself feel like are safe behavior to cope with your disappointment and doubt that are really not working for you the way that you think that they are? Number 2, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. You did the best you could with what you had, and forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know. But let's learn something different and start doing something different instead of beating ourselves up. And when you know better, you'll do better. Number 3, surrender your picture and release resentment towards God. Tell God your heart's desire. Tell him how you feel about it. Tell him openly and honestly exactly how you feel about it. And trust that he will show up for you. And that when you surrender your picture to him, that he wants to give you something back. And he will honor the desires of your heart because that's who he says he is. It may just not look like your picture. Number 4, get to know God's heart and rebuild trust with him. Seek his heart openly and honestly, vulnerably, and get to know his nature and his real heart. And ask him to show up and to show you who he really is and how he loves you. He will show up if you ask him. Number 5, reprogram your mind with truth. It is not working for us to continue to believe those lies. And it is not working for us to continue to have those same negative patterns of thinking, that script that you've been believing that I can't trust, that I'm not going to have, that I have to keep doing this. You don't. We've got to start believing something else and then speak something else. Stop believing those negative mindsets, and belief and faith will begin to build up from the inside out when you no longer choose what isn't working. We're going to experience disappointment in our lives when we depend on, or we even put our faith in circumstances or in people. And when we connect with people, disappointment is a reality. But you know what? Let's don't allow our disappointment to turn into doubt and disillusionment as a result. Let's Let's not let it steal that connection and the hope and the life and the joy from us any longer because of the disappointment that we feel. Let's choose to no longer live in that survivor mentality, believing that we're cut off from love and that we're not going to have what we need, because it is a lie. Instead, let's choose to have victory over our disappointment and our doubt and do something different. Believe something different and change that negative script so that you can begin to thrive in the life that God intended for you.